Hello and welcome to Mark Out Moments. It's our WWE Night of Champions from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, pre-show right here on markoutmoments.net. I'm your host, Dolla Bill Dave, along with my best friend, Justin, and our first lady, it's Amy.
Hello, hello.
Good morning.
All right, so before we get started, a lot of fuss this week. Last weekend, the United States did some bombing over in Iran. We got a lot of hostilities between Iran and Israel. So people were up in arms over this whole pay-per-view being shown anyway. But WWE, they kind of played it slow and played it by ear. And we are off and running in Saudi Arabia here for Night of Champions. I don't think anything was really going to happen. Especially like this pay-per-view or premium live event, there's a lot of royalty in Saudi Arabia that's going to be there. I don't think Iran or anybody else is that stupid. So I think WWE is doing just fine. SmackDown was a big show last night with a lot of, a lot of people talking about a great match between DIY and Andrade and Rey Fenix. Lots of good stuff going on out there right now. But let's get started. We have Night of Champions. We'll do it like we always do. We'll run down the card. We'll show you beautiful pictures of everything. We'll make our guesses of who's going to win. Not really suggestions because we ain't suggesting shit to anybody, but who we think is going to win the matches. And I'll read you the odds. So first things first, here's the match that I am most interested in because I am a huge, huge fan of Karrion Kross. Mm-hmm. And he is on his first PLE since WrestleMania 40 last April. So if you've been watching, Karrion Kross has had something going with Sami Zayn recently, and he's trying to get Sami Zayn to turn to the dark side. So we finally are getting the match. Dominic Mysterio and AJ Styles was pulled. Dominic Mysterio has a legit rib injury. He's not supposed to miss significant time or anything like that. So the match was pulled. And insert Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross. Justin, what do you see here?
This has been a great build for Karrion Kross. He's been used a lot in backstage segments, kind of building his character. So I think people are more invested than what they have been. I hope they put Karrion over because he's hot right now. I think it tells the story of him slowly turning these people. So if you think about it, like every conversation he's had with people, they've turned to the dark side. New Day is one of them. AJ Styles. So this is a slow burn to either turn Sami heel, which I think is coming. But I ultimately picked Karrion Kross for the win tonight.
How about you, Amy?
See, I actually think Sami Zayn's going to win. It's not necessarily the choice I really want to happen because I am a big Karrion Kross fan and I do like what's going on with him. Any other place besides Saudi Arabia, I'd probably be like Karrion Kross. But Sami has been embraced by this, by this area, I guess you could say, and I just think they love him there, and I just don't think that they're going to have him get beat. Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I agree with Amy. I really want Karrion Kross to win. I'm a huge Karrion Kross fan. I see money in him. As everybody knows, I'm not a fan of Sami Zayn, but he can go in the ring. He doesn't do anything for me. But I think Sami Zayn gets the win because, like you said, there was a whole thing with him. He didn't wrestle in the early Saudi shows because he's of Syrian descent, and there was like issues there, and he wasn't allowed. So because of that, his best friend Kevin Owens wouldn't wrestle in Saudi either. Just for his friend, which that's commendable. That's great that you have those beliefs. But now Sami Zayn is allowed in Saudi Arabia. The fans love him. He has an Arab background. All for the fans getting what they want. I'm of the belief that a lot of people have issues with WWE running shows in Saudi Arabia. I'm not one of those. I think they should run shows everywhere. Why should fans, just because they live in a certain area, not be allowed to enjoy wrestling and live wrestling and shows like that. I mean, there's all over the world, there's issues with everybody. You know, we live in a country that's not perfect either, yet we still get wrestling. So I don't think we should withhold that from anybody else. But I unfortunately think Sami Zayn gets the win. Karrion Kross does not. I think if they're going to do something with him, though, now's the time. They've got to figure this out. It's one of those. I know there's been reports that Karrion Kross has not re-signed yet with WWE and his contract is coming up. But the dude's money right now, his merch is selling like crazy. He's getting some of the loudest reactions. Hasn't been wrestling on television shows, Raw, SmackDown, but I think he has been on Main Event and stuff.
Yes.
So, we'll see what he does. I think it's time to push Karrion Kross, and I'd really like to see it. With that being said, the betting odds for this match. Sami Zayn will finally wrestle Karrion Kross at Night of Champions. And betting odds reveal that Zayn is the favorite with minus 400 odds, while Kross sits at just plus 250.
You know,
Those out there that don't know how betting works, you have to bet $400 on Sami Zayn to win $100. And if you bet $100 on Karrion Kross and he wins, you win $250. So Karrion Kross is definitely not favored to win. He is an underdog coming in here, but my Lord, usually one of these is wrong. So WWE does switch things up, but this is one. Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross. What were you going to say, Amy?
No, I was just going to say, you know, they could do something, not so much like a schmoz finish, but they could do something to where like Karrion loses, but he's happy and that he's confusing Sami. And so you still get that, you know, like, yeah, he lost, but actually he's happy and he's still playing mind games. Like you could do something. Sami's really good about facials and that kind of stuff in the ring. So at the end, you could see him congratulating him or something and just messing with his mind. And that could still promote Karrion Kross, even though he does lose in a way. So we'll just kind of have to see how they end up doing that.
Should be a good match.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, told you guys before we hit record here, I will not be watching this live today. It's a beautiful day out. We're going on the boat. But I think we got some friends coming over tonight. I'm going to smoke some chicken wings and hang out, and I'll probably turn it on tonight because other than watching Rays baseball, which I can do on the other TV, there ain't really nothing else on for me. So it's going to be a wrestling night in this house. All right, match number 2. I think we're all going to go the same way here. We have the street fight. Mommy, Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez.
I bet we don't go the same way.
Oh.
I got a different thought.
Amy, you hit us up.
Start us off.
Let's go.
I think, okay, I've thought a lot about this because reports have shown that, you know, obviously Liv Morgan has a legit injury and that she's going to be out for a little bit. And they've kind of not scrambled, but a lot of plans have had to be changed. I'm going with Raquel on this. And I'm going on that. I expect to see Roxanne Perez in some way because now, I mean, Liv and Raquel are the women's tag team champions. So, you know, like maybe they could do some kind of Freebird thing. You know, we're all part of the Judgment Day. I think that we could possibly see some interference with Roxanne to kind of get Raquel on her side and doing that kind of stuff while Liv is out. So I'm going with Raquel on this one.
Okay, I like it. That's an opportunity that's been laid out for us because word on the street is that they're not going to be stripping Liv and Raquel of the women's titles, and that Roxanne was going to be inserted in there for Liv.
Mm-hmm.
So those women's tag team titles are snake bit. It is. It is.
Almost,
and there's no legit women tag teams. I'm not a fan of them, but I'm also not a fan of having 2 different sets of men's tag team titles when I think the tag team division is so underutilized there only needs to be one set of tag belts, and they can be defended on both shows. Because tag team wrestling just doesn't get the love. I mean, they need to unite those titles and unify them into one, and it's there's just not enough.
What they need to start doing is booking for tag team wrestling again. That's where they're missing it, right? You can have all the belts you want.
I thought with Triple H taking over, tag team wrestling would get a priority, because the tag teams that he had in NXT when he was running things when NXT on Black and Gold brand, it was incredible. And then, Vince just, WWE had a strong tag team division in the 80s. It kind of waned in the early 90s through the mid 90s. And then you kind of saw a resurgence when the New Age Outlaws came, and then you had the Dudleys and the Hardys and Edge and Christian, and, things changed a little bit, but the tag belts, I've always thought that, a lot, especially during the Attitude Era, you'd have a lot of matches of The Undertaker versus whoever was the tag champion, or Stone Cold Steve Austin versus whoever were the tag champions. And, the single star would end up going over them in handicap matches. And that really, really makes your belts look pathetic in your tag division. And so I thought we'd get more, because I like tag team wrestling. And I thought it would be much more utilized under Triple H, and it has not been at all.
And I think one of the other things, like you were saying, not just the 2-on-1, but whenever you had a legit tag team that had been together and were, and were a tag team, entity, get defeated by two random singles that got thrown together. That would drive me insane, because you would think their tag team should be more in sync and they should be more together. But then you can just throw in, Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold, and they're going to beat everybody. And I just, like you said, I think that really hurt that tag team division. We do have the New Day as tag team champions, so that is a legit. So that's good to see.
Well, you have the SmackDown tag team champions are Street Profits.
Street Profits.
The problem is they won the belts and haven't been on TV.
Right. I was going to say, I didn't even know who it was until you told me.
It's just, and it took me a minute as I started talking about it. I'm like, wait a minute, who is this SmackDown? But see, my problem is SmackDown comes on Fridays.
Yeah.
And I ain't usually watching TV on Friday nights.
Right.
So the Fridays just aren't a good night for me. So the vast majority of my knowledge of what's going on in wrestling is on Monday nights, because I can catch Raw. It's easier. A lot of Fridays I'm busy. I'm doing stuff. So it's just different. And then, once again, we have another PLE without a tag team championship on it.
Yeah, they actually defended it last night on SmackDown against the Wyatt family.
Did they?
So, yeah. Pure chaos at the end, but at the end of the day, they displayed the tag belts and the tag team division. So, but Amy, I think you bring up a good point with Rhea and Raquel. I think it is an opportunity to kind of build the storyline between continuing that storyline, but then adding in Roxanne, who's definitely getting a lot more TV time as a newcomer to the Raw brand. So I'm with you. That's who my pick was Raquel. We all love mommy, right? But at the end of the day, I think psychology and how they're building this storyline, it makes sense to put Raquel over.
Street fight. So there's going to be, there's the Judgment Day is going to be there some way, somehow. So how that ends up, I'm going against the grain with you guys. I think Rhea Ripley wins. They've made her she is the female Hulk Hogan of our generation right now. And I mean, she is a superstar. The odds for the match: Rhea Ripley will duke it out with Raquel Rodriguez in a street fight, and currently the Eradicator is favored to win with minus 800 odds, while Rodriguez is at a disadvantage with plus 425. So that's huge.
Amy, let's put in our bet. We'll make some money right there.
You guys each put in $50 for your 100. You win 425 between the two of you.
I'm willing to take that gamble.
Match number 3 for the WWE United States Championship. The continuation of the Bloodline feud. We have Jacob Fatu, our United States champion, versus Solo Sikoa. Are there going to be any new additions to Solo's bloodline tonight in Saudi Arabia? or will Jacob Fatu remain strong? Justin, what do you think?
I actually think we do see a new addition to the bloodline, but I think it's actually in Jimmy and in Jacob's favor. So they've been talking too much about Jimmy being alone, not having anybody last night. Jacob came to his defense when he was facing JC. So I think this is going to see Hikuleo debut finally. I think it's in Jimmy and Jacob's favor and not in Solo's favor. And I think he'll counterbalance some way or another. So I ultimately see Fatu going over. He's too hot right now.
He has got to be everybody's pick to be a future champion here in the near term, because that man is over like Rover. He's money.
But
his interviews are great. His wrestling's great. He's believable. He's a big, strong, powerful human. And dude, I'm digging everything I see with Jacob Fatu. It just blows my mind that he's like 34, 35 years old, and it took him this long to get there.
Well, the backstory that he has to tell too, right? And we look to wrestlers, we can go, hey, this is similar to a buddy I know, or maybe me, or anything else like that, right? He's got that believable backstory of his struggle and life struggles. So I think this will truly help people continue to connect with him once they continue to tell his backstory.
And
See,
I think
this is one that I could see Solo actually walking away from as the champion. I could see a very, controversial finish. Something happens. Solo wins the title. Solo was supposed to be in this Jacob spot. They were building him as the monster. And that went away. Look who's joining us. That went away when
you
Jacob
shaved.
Fatu,
You shaved your face.
I did.
your
Why?
glasses look purple because they're reflecting your shirt. You look like a goof.
Oh,
He is a goof.
new glass. Well, my
We
God.
like hit them with too much at one time. We're like, why'd you shave your glasses? What's wrong with you?
Hey,
You
did
should
y'all
get
not
an earring.
Everybody loves me. Did y'all not get the memo?
Get an earring.
Oh my God.
I can see Dave wearing a hoop earring.
Definitely.
We stopped for a potty break, so we decided to pop on for a second.
Well, what do you think? Who's going to win, Solo Sikoa or Jacob Fatu, United States Championship match?
Oh, I think Solo's going to win the belt.
I
think
too.
there's going to be some serious fuckery going on.
Yeah, I agree. I'm there. Justin, what do you see?
I see Fatu. I think it's too early to drop the belt for him. So, Amy?
I think that
Go ahead, Dave.
I think Jimmy Uso being invited back into the fold last night's a red herring. Yeah, he slapped Solo last night, but what else does he got going on? Unless they're gonna put him back with Jay.
I don't know. We'll see. Go ahead, Amy. What do you pick?
This is the hardest one. I'm going to go with Jacob. I think I'm like you all. I think he needs to hang on to the belt. I think there will be lots and lots of movement, new people, old people. I kind of hate it though, because I feel like Solo needs something. Like he's kind of twisting in the wind. Because like you said, Dave, he was supposed to be the Jacob. And so after he got defeated by Roman, I feel like he's just kind of dangled. And and so I kind of hate, but I also already have so many between, Raquel, and I feel like there's a lot going on this show. I don't know if maybe this just needs to be straightforward. So I think Jacob. One of the things you were saying, I love Jacob Fatu also. Again, not only his story, but like we literally hung out with him 2 years ago, or 2 or 3 years ago. Was it, and so you got to really get to know him. And I mean, I it's like cheering on a friend, it's like someone that has gone from the smaller shows, and now is doing is selling out, and so you're happy for them. So I'm definitely a Jacob fan. I'm going to go Jacob, but I think there'll be a lot of good stuff going on, like you all mentioned.
And our friend in
Just
the
think
chat,
there's a
Finn does WWE, is picking Jacob Fatu as well. With
just
that
think
being
that
said,
something-
go ahead, Dave.
I just think there's something coming from this. There's a new
Yeah.
direction because something's got to happen because Solo's getting flat.
Yep.
Solo's no longer the monster that he used to be. Fatu is that monster. Braun Breaker's that monster. Bronson Reed is that monster. But Solo was a monster, and when they put the suit on him, I said this the other night on the show, is I think the suit neutered him. He was a killer, and he's not a killer anymore. He's a Temu tribal chief.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe something comes out of this that makes him that killer again. Or maybe he's, I don't know. I just feel like regardless of who walks away with the title, something's got to come from this. I think something's brewing. I don't think it was by chance last night. It's time to get Jimmy back in the fold. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
And
According to our odds here, Jacob Fatu will put his WWE United States Championship on the line against Solo Sikoa. As per the betting odds, the Samoan Werewolf is expected to retain with minus 250 odds, while Sikoa has plus 170. So that's our tightest match
That's close.
tonight.
Yeah.
That's the tightest one of the night.
You
Plus
didn't tell
250.
us,
Or plus
Dave.
170. Yeah.
Pondwater.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Pondwater. Why did you shave? You got to tell people before you do that. That'd be like
Because of the
Justin
nerve damage.
and Dolla Bill shaving. We wouldn't even know who they were. Can't be
it's
doing
the
that.
nerve damage that I got from having my wisdom tooth, the oral surgery that caused the nerve damage. The hair was like it was
Okay,
irritating it so much more.
It was
If
medical.
anything brushed
Okay,
up against
fine.
my hair, it's just this right in here hasn't come back alive yet, and it's at a stage where it tingles a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like the hair was aggravating it more.
Does
Coach
it feel
Keith
better?
picking Jacob Fatu as well. You know what you should do, Pondwater? Sideburns, like Elvis Presley.
Ooh.
Uh-huh.
Hey, let me ask y'all: do y'all find it odd that this card's in Saudi Arabia and both versions of the United States title are being defended, but neither version of the Intercontinental is being defended intercontinentally?
Well, I mean, the women's United States title was defended last night, and we saw
It was Saudi
Julia
Oh,
Wade,
Arabia.
yeah. It was still in Saudi. Yeah.
but it was still in Saudi. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't expect the Intercontinental title has been devalued so much. I don't hardly ever expect since. I mean, the only time it ever really seemed to matter was when Gunther held it for like 2 years. But other than that, for the last 20
Now,
years, that Intercontinental title's meant shit.
In fairness, Dominic was slated to defend it against AJ,
Yeah,
and he got hurt.
before
So
his-
I guess the intent was there.
We'll see. Now it's time for Queen of the Ring. Jade Cargill versus the returning Asuka. Will Jade have a good match with Asuka like she did with Roxanne Perez last week? I think if anybody can get one out of her, it is Asuka. Might be a little bit of a language barrier thing there. I don't know. Justin, what do you see?
So I think this is the perfect way to give Jade Cargill a strong push towards the top. Asuka is a strong female competitor, and I think ultimately at the end of the day, her going over Asuka is her way to kind of shine to the next level. I think it also continues to build on Naomi's storyline with her. So for that, I see Jade going over and becoming this year's Queen of the Ring.
Amy.
See, I don't think you bring Asuka back to have her lose to Jade. I I think it's going to be Asuka. Plus, two, I don't see Jade and Tiffany Stratton, like, because that's right. That's who she would have to go against. I don't see that as a good match for me. I mean, so I think Asuka and Io Sky, 100%. Asuka is the better wrestler. And I understand what you're saying, Justin, about the push, but I don't think that's believable that Jade is going to beat Asuka. And so I pick Asuka.
Pond water.
I agree with everything that Amy said, and that's how it should go. The Asuka Io matchup would be so much better. Asuka is too good to lose to Jade. But that being said, the Queen of the Ring is made for Jade Cargill. I marvel at her when I see her. She has queen. I mean, she's made for that. She has star written all over her. And I think what she lacks in in-ring ability, her presentation makes up for it. And I don't see a scenario that she doesn't win Queen of the Ring. And but she's 100% going to lose it with the Money in the Bank cash in.
Yeah, so I think Jade wins tonight. She wins the title at SummerSlam, and Naomi ultimately walks out as the champion at SummerSlam.
Yep.
So that's how I see this playing out. And then we're going to get a Naomi Jade feud, and Jade will eventually win it back.
And you throw in Bianca Belair. I think that's the triple threat that's coming.
And I think Bianca Belair's coming, and she's going to be a heel.
Yep.
And it's time for that. Our odds. Queen of the Ring final, Asuka versus Jade Cargill. Asuka and Jade Cargill will battle it out in the finals of the Queen of the Ring tournament. Betting odds reveal that Jade Cargill is the clear favorite to win at minus 600 odds, while Asuka only has plus 350. So there you have it. Looks like the betting is on Jade. Our men's King of the Ring final. The American Nightmare Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. I couldn't care any less about this match.
Because it's got Orton in it.
This does nothing for me. I am not a Randy Orton fan, same as I'm not a Sami Zayn fan. And a face Randy Orton is even worse. He needs to be a heel. But to me, it's obvious. They've already had Orton versus Cena in St. Louis. They're building up for Cena and Rhodes too. Cody Rhodes is going to go over here. Justin, what do you think?
So I'm a huge Randy Orton fan, and I think he's having the time of his life right now in his career. And I think he definitely is going to build some chemistry with Cody from their legacy days. And this has been a slow build itself. But I, too, agree that I think it's Cody going over, building towards Cody Cena 2, and then a bigger draw for SummerSlam 2-night event.
Amy.
I agree with Justin. I think it's SummerSlam, like you said, 2-night event. I think that people want to see Cody, John Cena 2 versus John Cena and Randy Orton 2. And then 2, that gives Cody a potential opponent in Randy Orton down the road. So I'm with you. I think Cody wins.
Dave.
As bad as I hate it, I had to say that Cody's going to win. But I hope that Randy Orton punts his head off after the match.
Oh.
I need a heel Randy Orton.
See, I think we're going to get a heel Cody coming.
But
it is. Yeah.
Cody's going to turn heel at SummerSlam. Right. It's there. It's coming. It's coming.
Monday night showed some good indication it's coming.
What did he do Monday night? I was on vacation. I didn't see.
Just a more aggressive match with Jay than what you would think. If that's truly like your homeboy in the ring.
Right. I got you.
A lot more aggressive.
Let's check the comments. Coach Keith says Cody wins, unfortunately. I like Cody much better than Randy Orton, so I'm in for a Cody win. Orton does nothing.
Dude,
for me.
I love Cody. I've just come around on Randy Orton, and I would love nothing better than Cody to become a heel, become that Homelander character that I've been saying he is for so long. But I think he's locked in on being the perennial baby face like John Cena.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's locked in, and he's in that Make-A-Wish kid face of the company. I mean, he's an idol to the kids, and he's so good with them. I don't think that he could, even if it's smart to make him a heel. I just think he's locked in for the next few years as the company's babyface for public relation purposes.
Right, because
he even
if
did
Cody
something this week that said he likes it. He said he likes being a fan favorite, and he said hopefully he can be in this role the rest of his life.
We'll see. Our good buddy RJ says Cody wins, goes to face Cena at SummerSlam, then Randy costs Cody the match. Then it's Cody and Randy building up to Mania.
could see that. Because you're right, though, Dave. Who is a baby face that could step into the Cody role if he turned heel? They don't have anybody, for the public relations, for that kind of stuff, all that stuff that like a John Cena used to do. Now that's Cody. Is there anybody even coming up that could do that in the near future?
I mean, my only thing is at some point Gunther's going to turn face.
True.
Yeah, but I don't see him being that big of a.
But
face.
he won't be the
right.
He won't be like that. But your top baby face is going to be good.
You can't make CM Punk that guy because you don't want those kids walking into the light.
No, CM Punk. I mean, that's not. It needs to be someone younger coming up. I don't know who that would be, but anyway, just a thought.
Hey, I don't see it either. I still think who you have as a who's a heel that you could turn face, and he could be that. He could be like that, and I don't see him yet.
Mm-mm.
Jacob Fatu.
Know what I mean?
Yeah,
because I mean, your only other option there is Roman, but he's not around enough for it to matter. So
that's why I didn't say Roman.
Yeah.
Well, eventually he might like that. I mean, that might be a good role for him if he wants to kind of slow down on the wrestling. More.
Coach Keith says Roman. RJ says Sammy. We all think Sammy's turning soon. RJ. So
I don't think Sammy is as beloved. I mean, he is a good character, but I don't think he's not that beloved. I'll just say that. I don't think there, I mean, some people, I just don't see him doing that. I don't know.
We're going to find out soon enough. All right. Our main event of the evening in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. The one we've all been waiting for. Oh, sorry. Skip back. Randy Orton will square off against Cody Rhodes in the finals of the King of the Ring tournament. Betting odds state that Cody Rhodes will win with minus 2,000 odds in his name, while Orton has plus 700 odds against him.
Now break that down, Dave. If I bet $100 on Cody Rhodes, how much am I going to win?
$2.
But if you bet $100 on Randy Orton and he wins,
$700.
Okay.
You have to bet $2,000 to win 100 on Cody Rhodes.
Gotcha.
There you have it.
Save your money.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So our main event of the evening, Night of Champions, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. It's the undisputed WWE Championship. They have an undisputed belt with 2 world titles. That makes no sense. Your champion, John Cena, one last time against the Second City Saint, CM Punk. Justin, what do you think?
I think it's blatantly obvious that Cena is not losing this belt anytime soon. The way they are marketing him as the one last champ, I would be 100% surprised that Punk wins tonight. So my bet is the safe bet with John Cena because you can't see me.
Amy.
I agree. I think Cena is going to continue on.
Dave.
Yeah, there's no way Cena's losing.
Yeah,
I'm hoping they
one
come
of
up with
those.
some better creative. They just don't hit him with the belt again.
It's one of those. Is Cena's not losing,
No.
but does Punk win any other way?
But
Does Punk get
No,
a
he's
count
not gonna-
out or disqualification or whatever to make Punk keep him strong? Because at some point, I mean, CM Punk is the face of Monday Night Raw. He is the face. You got, the Hill Factory over there with Paul Heyman with Seth Rollins, which is coming. And then you have Gunther as your champion. Other than that, I mean, you got Drew McIntyre. He's out of action. I can't wait for him to return because he's a player. But, I mean, Punk's not winning. So, I don't really know. I mean,
He doesn't have many friends either.
he doesn't. But,
On
I like
TV.
Punk. I like Punk like that, though. He's better as the anti-hero and the, do it alone, kind of like Stone Cold did. And, I mean, Punk's been tremendous since he's been back in WWE. His matches with Drew McIntyre were top notch. His matches that he had with Seth Rollins were great. That match they had on the first Monday Night Raw on Netflix was tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. So,
do you
I'm all
see any
for
of them from John? Do you see any from the Paul Heyman group interfering?
No, I don't.
Not tonight.
So,
RJ
not-
has a good idea about R-Truth or Ron Killings, whatever he wants to be called. Maybe it's not so much Punk as it is someone coming in to beat up John Cena.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's, I don't think that's changed, has it? I mean, that hasn't come to an end. And you threw Aleister Black in there. So I don't,
And word on the street is they're really happy with what Aleister Black has done, and he's going to be getting a push, as he should, because that man's tremendous.
yes.
So,
But there's something about his tattoos, though, right? That's the reason why he's not able to be in Saudi Arabia, or he's not.
He was
He's
there
there.
last
He was there
night.
last night.
Yeah.
He's there last night.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he covered up?
R-Truth cut him off.
No.
No,
Hey,
that's right. That's right. He was there last night.
They have
Never
done
mind.
a different, almost a 180. So we got women on the card. We got Sammy there. Got Aleister Black. So I mean,
Were they covered up head to toe? The women.
the
Still?
women were, yes,
pretty
yeah,
much?
but there's still progress. If you look at how many
Yes,
women
yes.
were displayed between last night and tonight, it's huge.
Oh yeah.
So-
I just didn't know if they. That's true. Aleister Black was there, so I don't know.
And I don't know what the thing with covering them all the way up is, because some of these bodysuits they're wearing are a lot sexier than their normal gear.
That's very true.
No, I'm serious. Like,
No, I know. I agree with you. I mean, they're very. I mean, you're not sure what we're
That
trying to
last time
do.
yeah,
Did you see what Rhea Ripley wore the other day? Good God. I thought it was like
Yeah.
body paint at first.
So, I mean, I think they're giving the middle finger to the dress code and doing what they're supposed to do, but
Right.
I mean,
like we did.
it was like, I can't tell if they're not wrestling in burkas, that's for sure.
True.
But
Well, our final odds of the night. Our WWE Undisputed Championship, John Cena versus CM Punk. CM Punk will face John Cena at Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia. As per the betting odds revealed by Bet Online, John Cena is the overwhelming favorite with minus 4,000 odds in his favor, while CM Punk is the underdog with plus 900.
Okay.
That's a huge gap though between the two. It's crazy.
I'm thinking Ron Killings could cause the disqualification
Yeah, something.
because he wanted a piece of Cena last night, and I could see him going out there and jumping on him and getting Punk disqualified.
Yeah,
I mean,
that.
that ending, we don't get that finish very often.
Mm-hmm. Very true. Very true.
Well, I think
We're
we're
gonna
in
see.
for good PLE. A lot of psychology and build towards future storylines with SummerSlam and Evolution coming up.
So we got 2 weeks. We have Saturday night's main event.
Yep, I'll be there
Mhm.
live.
and then Evolution,
Lucky.
Ooh.
and then we got SummerSlam after that.
Yep.
So we are in June. That's our July, August SummerSlam. So yeah, it's coming. SummerSlam's coming quick, and it's 2 nights this year.
Mhm.
So that's going to be a big one
I
for
like
us here. Yeah.
Where
They need
is
to make
again?
it's
Is
in
it
New Jersey.
New Jersey? Okay.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, we thank you for joining us here on Mark Out Moments. I'm Dolla Bill Dave, along with Justin, Amy, and Pondwater Dave. We'll see you after the show.